Okay, welcome to the parent presentation for the Austin Thummel Sangam Chess Tournament. So this is what we're going to go over in today's recording or meeting. First, we'll go over the tournament structure, then we'll go over the expected experience of the chess tournament, and then the parent duties that you will have, and then we'll talk about safety, security, and most importantly, fun. So first off, parent expectations. In the parent experience, we should start with the check-in and check-out. We should have a focus on kids' safety. We should have good communication. And I will explain what Skittles is, which is really just like chess for fun. And then there should be kids' free PlayStation. We'll talk about the outside fun, and then we'll talk about the most important thing, water, food, and happiness slash Wi-Fi. So the kid slash player expectations. It'll start with again, check in and check out, their safety, communications, Skittles, outside fun, water, food, and happiness. So we will be working on a rolling schedule. We will follow this schedule, which means that the next game or event will start as soon as the previous one ends. We can have approximate round times for this, but again, since it's a rolling schedule, it might go faster and hopefully not slower. So round one should start around 11 o'clock a.m. Round two should be either on or before 12. Round three should be on or before 1. Round four should be on or before 2. Round five should be on or before 3. And then the results should be announced on or before 4, depending on how fast we can finish. At the chessboards, it's important that only water bottles are allowed. And obviously, if you want to bring paper to notate, but no outside like drinks and food. Like it's a chess game, so you can have water, but that's about it.
And if you want, you can go back to the previous slide. I just want to touch upon certain things.
Sure.
So we are definitely expecting parents to check in a bit early. So all jokes aside, like Indian Standard Time and all that, this is serious for us because even if there are 20 to 40 people in the tournament, if you are late, then it affects everybody's timing. So please try to be there anywhere from 10:15 to 10:30. Don't come in the last minute so that we can situate the kids. We will be able to give them wristbands and make sure that the entire check-in is complete. So we request you to be on time. The previous slide, where it had 1 to 6. Yeah. And then just to be sure the kid's safety is your responsibility. We will do our best to provide safety to your kid. But if the kid is running away from the chessboard or after they are done with the tournament, we expect the parent to be there. We are going to be closely monitoring all the kids, but we want to be sure that you understand the responsibility is primarily yours. So please do not step out. Or if you are stepping out of that area, do notify one of the organizers, and we will do the best to make sure that no child is really left behind or lost behind. So it's very critical about that. Arnav will touch upon communication. We have a big slide specifically on that. So let's definitely talk about that, and same with the Skittles. The outside fun, it was pointed out last time as well that there's a small play area. If you do want to bring some soccer ball or football or something small, the kids can definitely play between the chess games. The church does have a small place for us. This time, the church has given us a bigger gym. Last time, it was in the small community room, which means that we should have a larger space for the parents and kids. But there should also be, the outside space available for us to go and let the kids play if they do want to go outside. For the food part, I would let Maha talk about it in the end. So we'll definitely touch up on that. And with the Wi-Fi, definitely we will make sure that we are able to get the Wi-Fi username and password as soon as you come in, so that all of you have access to that. I always say, even if somebody is ready to die, you have to first give Wi-Fi, then water, then wire. Everybody needs all three. So we'll make sure that you have the Wi-Fi connection and have a good experience there. Now you can go to this third slide after this, Arnav, and continue.
All right.
Yes, this one.
So this should be the tournament experience. Whenever possible, we will take a picture of the end position of the board. Um, Essentially the game will be played and here are the scoring. Win is 1 point, draw is 0.5 for both, and loss or no show
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ
slash
ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಬರ್ರಿ ಡೇಜಲಿ
sorry.
No, that was somebody else. You can go ahead, Arnav.
If the kid is late, we will allow them to play, but they'll still be counted as a loss, so this will negatively affect them. So please don't be late. Um, this is the most important thing is we will get you in the WhatsApp group, and if you're not, let us know. Either before or even during the tournament, we will get you in the WhatsApp group because in the WhatsApp group, we will be posting after every single round the results for each board, like the raw results, and then we'll also be posting the wall chart after each round and the standings after each round. And before the rounds, we'll be posting the pairing so that way you can see who your kid is going to go against. So this is the most important part. This is the scoring, which is pretty self-explanatory. A win is 1, a draw is half for both players, and a loss is 0. And then again,
So
the
one thing
WhatsApp
to add,
group.
like you said, Arnav, is between the tournament, it is going to be a rolling schedule. So that means when we are talking about late, we are not just talking about late for the 11 a.m. But even if let's say at 11:27 we are starting the next round, and if you don't see your kid, and if there's a valid excuse, we'll wait. So the kid has gone to the restroom or whatever. But we don't have a lot of time to wait. And if your kid is late, then we will have to give a loss. Your kid can come and join anytime, but it will be counted a loss. So since it's a rolling schedule, we want you to be sure that you are not late to every round, not just the first round. So don't leave the campus. That's the request.
All right. So this is what it'll kind of look like on WhatsApp. First, you'll get the pairings for each round. Then you'll get the raw board results, which will look something like this. It'll say the round, it'll say the section, it'll say the board number and who won. And then you should get the wall chart and the standings. And lots of times we get questions on how the wall chart works. So I'll go ahead and answer it now. And if you still have any questions about it, please let us know during the tournament. But basically the wall chart will have this is their like number for each kid. And let's say we look at this person right here, number 2, their B5 means that they're black against number 5. So they're against this person. And since this person has a 1, that means they won that round. That's kind of how you read the wall chart. It tells you who they're playing against. It tells you how much points they have, so you can tell if they've won that round or won a previous round, etc. And standings are pretty self-explanatory. It's who has the most points in order of points.
So last time we found some parents were having questions even during the tournament. Yes, we will try to answer as much as possible. You can also post in the WhatsApp group. We'll also respond through the group. But be very careful about the results. If for whatever reason, it typically doesn't happen, but if for whatever reason, even it has won and we have marked it as loss, or if we have made any mistake, we request you to let us know right away. Just either posting it in the group or just tapping one of us and letting us know, because the sooner we correct it, then it won't have a cascading effect. Because later, let's say you come back after round 3 and then say we had an issue with round 1, it will be very, very difficult for us to go back and retrofit, because this is based on Swiss's software. Arnav will explain a little bit more. But the software does take into account as to who is playing well on that day. It doesn't matter how good your kid is. It only matters how good they are playing on that day. So it's very important, you as a parent also to double check along with us, and we will do everything possible. Like Arnav said, wherever possible, we'll ask the volunteers to take pictures. We will have a documented proof. We want to make sure that we are recording the right information. But if there is a mistake, it is something that we are ready to correct as quickly as you point out. Any question on what is the difference between the 3? Because if you are a parent, in this case you are, just look for the raw score. That's the easy one to read. Just understand if the kid won or lost that round. And then it's always also better to understand whom they won against with the walls surrounding that Arno was explaining, and the wall chart that he was explaining, understanding. And this is all based on a standard set of software. Like we didn't develop it. There are only two softwares, WinTD and Swissys. Both are the authorized software. We at Parinama, we are a US Chess Federation affiliate. I'm one of the US Chess Federation local tournament director. All that means is we know the USCF rules, we know the softwares, we know what we are doing. But if we do have any mistakes, you're more than welcome to point out, and we will try to see if it's something that we can fix. We will definitely fix it. If it's based on some rules that is given through these tiebreakers and software, then we will try to explain as much as possible based on what we can gather from these rules that are already set. Then we can move to
All right. So this is the flyer for the ATS chess tournament that's coming up. It has information on everything you need for it, like the number of sections, which there should be 3, K-1 under 300, K-5 under 600, and open. What this means is K-1 is kinder to first grade, and then under 300 means that they're in kinder to first and they have a rating under 300. So if your kid isn't rated or they don't have a USCF ID and they're K-1 and they're in kinder or first grade, then they will be in that section. Same thing with K-5. This is kinder to fifth, under 600 rating and unrated. And the last one is open. So it's for people above fifth grade, or it's for people who have a rating that is above the 300 or above the 600. On this too, it has the location and the address, which is super important for getting to the chess tournament. And it also has the QR code, which has the details and registration. So again, here are the sections. I kind of explained them. There's 3 sections that your kid could be placed into. It really depends on their grade, and it depends if they have a USCF ID and what their rating is. We will have wristbands for each of the sections. That way it's easier to make sure your kid is in the right section and to make sure that we can like know where everyone from each section is. Just by looking at them, we can tell what section they're in, what section they're supposed to be in, etc. We'll have a wristband for K-1 people, for the K-5 people, and for the open people. This will be given when you check in, so you don't have to worry about it. And if you haven't gotten one and you're waiting inside, so you've already checked in, then let us know. That way we can get your kid a wristband right away. So this is the Swissys software that was mentioned earlier. It's going to be the tournament will be conducted in a Swiss style, and this is the format that is used in almost most tournaments worldwide. It's not elimination, so everyone will get to play every game as long as you are present. Basically, it'll be paired kind of randomly at the beginning. It kind of sees where they are, and then it pairs them based on how many games they win, who they've won, etc. Like let's say I play someone that beats someone else and I beat them, then it'll rank me technically higher than both of those people because I beat someone that beat someone else. And so now if I play the other person and I lose to them, then they're better than me. And it's just a lot of stuff that the software takes care of that we don't have to worry about. These are the standard rules of most chess tournaments, and this is what we go off of too. The first thing is super important because when you're playing with like friends and stuff, so many times we've seen people just touch the piece and not move it. In this tournament and in most tournaments, it is touch move and touch take. So let's say I touch my pawn, I have to move my pawn. And now if I cannot move the piece that I touch, then yes, there's nothing you can do about it. But if that piece can be moved and you touched it, you have to move it. And that also goes for touching your opponent's pieces. If you touch your opponent's piece and you can take it, you have to take it. Another rule is just properly move all of the chess pieces, like understand how they rule or how they move and don't make mistakes, like know how each piece moves. You also have to know how pawn promotion works, which pieces it can promote to, how it promotes. You must understand the rules for the advanced moves. Castling and en passant are 2 of the most popular advanced moves. And if you don't understand them, just please ask a tournament advisor for help. So that way we can explain it to you, and that way you aren't just left there confused, or your kid is not just left there confused. Um, you must understand check and the ways to get out of it, which is move, block, and capture. So you must understand that if you are in check, you have to get out of it, and you have to understand what check is, etc. You must understand checkmate. Um, And you must understand the 50 moves draw rule, which is after 50 moves, if there are no pawn moves or no captures, the game ends in a draw. And you must understand the 3 repetition rule, which means if the same exact position is repeated 3 times, then it's a draw. Also understand that no outside assistance during games is allowed. So you cannot have kids cannot have their parents telling them, "Hey, move this piece," or "Hey, move that piece." And also that means no phones or anything can be at the tournament or at the board, and you can't obviously have like a bot pulled up and playing on that, seeing what to do. This must be you or your kid playing against their opponent. You must be respectful to your opponent. They're also just here to play chess. They all have nothing against you. They just are playing. They're here to have fun too. And the last rule obviously is the most important, which is have fun. So these are the most common questions we get for chess tournaments. And the first one is this a rated tournament? This is not a rated tournament. We are not going to report these results to the USCF. We are not going to do anything like that. It is not rated. And then the next thing usually is, if this is not a rated tournament, then why do we need this USCF ID? We use this ID to help with pairing because USCF ID gives you a lot of information like previous games and previous opponents and stuff like that. And with these ratings and opponent like matchups and all that, it helps pair them in the first round, not so randomly. So that way it's easier to have some fair pairings at the beginning. Do we use clocks? We do not use clocks, but if you bring a clock, your opponent can use the clock. So we won't provide clocks, but let's say your kid comes and sits down and they want to use a clock, then they are more than welcome to use a clock. Do kids need to notate? That is also not needed. You do not have to notate, but notating does help a lot. It helps so that way you can practice this outside and you can always feel free to notate. Um, I'll actually give a personal story because a couple years ago when I was in a chess tournament, I notated the game and the other kid at the end of the thing said that he won. And so I didn't even realize he said that because I was just excited that I won a game, obviously. And then later I realized it said that I lost. So we went to the advisor or the tournament directors and we showed them the notation and they were like, "Oh, you did win." And so that got fixed. So that's why notating is really important. But again, it's not needed. It's just super useful. Will there be prizes? Yes, we will have prizes for the winners, and we should have participation prizes as well. One more time, will you post these results into the USCF database? No, do not worry. These results are not going in the USCF database. These are just a fun tournament to play. It's not rated. It's nothing like that. Are parents allowed to watch the kids play? Yes, parents are allowed to watch the kids play as long as you are not distracting or helping to aid your kid. You are allowed to sit there or stand quietly and watch your kid play though. What can I/we do as parents to make this a successful event? As a parent, you can help bring your kid on time, make sure they're registered correctly, make sure they show up to their board correctly, make sure your kid is set for success. And then if you would obviously like to help us cleaning up at the end, setting stuff up at the beginning, those are the most important things that you can help with. And if you also want to help situate some kids who clearly don't know like where they're going and they look like they need help, then please go ahead. What is rolling schedule again? Why not have a fixed schedule? We have a rolling schedule because we all don't want to be there for as long as we have to. So if we can get this, if we get the games over with, why would we wait when we have everything ready for the next round? This can help us make this tournament go by faster. So a fixed schedule only makes it so the games have to start at some time. When a rolling schedule is whenever the first game is done, we will instantly put in the results and pair the next round and then start the next round as soon as possible. What happens if we are late to a game? If you are late to a game, it is just you are still allowed to play, but it will be 0 points. You'll be awarded a loss for that round, but you will still be able to play the game, so don't worry about that. And what is a tiebreaker? Or what is the tiebreaker? When people have the same amount of points, uh, the tiebreaker will help divide that. And this is based off of Swiss's, and it'll see who the opponents were that you played. So let's say you had the same opponent that you both lost to, or that you both played and one of them beat the opponent and one of them lost to the opponent, then it'll use that. And it's just off Swiss's, which you can find online, or we can provide that to you at the tournament.
This is one of the most asked questions as well, because there may be two kids who have the same number of points. Let's say there is one kid who has 4 points, the other kid also has 4 points. You would see that one of the kid will get the first place, the other kid will get a second place. A lot of parents get upset, or they get a lot of questions on how did this happen, because if both the kids got 4 points, they should be only treated as first place, both of them first place. Why should one get first, one get second? And again, this is because of the Swiss rules. Swiss, as Arno pointed out many times, it is not how you play, but were you playing your best, and did you beat all the best players on that day in this chess tournament? So bottom line is, unless your kid was beating the best of the best, they are not going to get the first place or second place. So the tiebreaker is very important. We patiently try and explain uh, as much as we could, but it also help. We will also post in the group the Swiss rules, how that works, tiebreaker works. If you're really interested, please read, because sometimes parents get very emotional because they want to understand why their kid is not getting the same position as another kid. And again, we will try our best to show you how the software works, how tie-breaking rules work. But we didn't codify these, but we are only trying to help you understand how this works. So we really would appreciate if you can do some homework on that. That really helps. And about the prices and food, I want Maha to talk at the end. But Arnav, once you finish, you can hand over to Maha.
All right, sounds good. So these are the tournament teams slash leads. We have the caretaker or the kids in charge. This is the people that will be helping the kids. These are the people that'll be helping, or these people will be focused on helping the kids. While you have the communicator, which is the parent in charge, and these people will be focusing on the parent experience. And then you have the coordinator, which will help with the volunteer experience. So the first thing, those people will help, for example, get your kids to the right tables, start the tournaments. They're the people that'll be sitting, they'll be the volunteers that'll be sitting and helping. And if your kid has a question during the tournament, they'll say, okay, this is the rule, or they'll try to help your kid. And the communicator, they will help talk to the parents. They'll be the people that'll help check in, check out. And then the coordinator, the volunteer in charge, that's more back end, where they'll be helping the volunteers make sure that the volunteers can make this event successful. And that is all that we have. So, um, does anyone have any questions that I can answer?
It seems like no one has any questions. Okay, thank you so much, Arna, for explaining everything in detail. It was really very clear, and thank you so much. Thank you all the parents for joining on time. And about the food for the children, ATS will provide them pizza, cheese pizza, and juice. So if your child is allergy, please bring your own food for the child. ATS will be providing cheese pizza for the children. And for the parents, just like last time, we have also planned for food this time for the lunch. So you can send the money to Treasure. I will send the details in the WhatsApp group. It is treasurer at Austin Tamil Sangam. It is $11 per box. It's a packed food, and it will be bisibelabath and curd rice with the vegetable, and it is $11. If you are sending the money, please include your child's name, whatever you have registered for the chess tournament. So include your child's name and say this is for the chess lunch money, and we will take it into account. And before finalizing, we will send all the list whoever have paid the money. We will send you the confirmation in the same WhatsApp group. And please stay at the premises. If your child is really small, like of under 5 years old or 6-year-old, if it is okay with the Parinama Academy organizers, you may stay inside the play area, or else please wait at the premises. And of course, all the winners will be awarded with nice prizes, just like last time at the Chitri event, which is going to happen on April 27th at Hattu. So I will send you those details right around the tournament time. So if you have any questions, please let us know. You can always contact us through WhatsApp group or email to 8S. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions, please let us know now.
Here are two suggestions. One is, we can stop recording, and those who have more questions will be staying here. And
Okay.
some people, they typically don't like their voice or questions to be recorded. We are here to answer.
Okay.
And the other one is, like Maha mentioned, we are in this throughout the journey, which means starting today till April 6th and even beyond. If you have any questions, continue to post in the group, and one of us will be able to answer, so that we can have constant communication and clarification on any questions that you may have. So please feel free. It's a private group only for the ATS team and ATS registered participants. So feel free to post there. But we will wait here, Maha, for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
And we'll
I
try
will
to
stop
answer any
recording
other
now.
questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will stop.